Okay, Rocco Bianco channel here. We got people giving out free hot chocolate. It's the Wellington. There you go. And I was going to look at the ingredients, if that's okay. I'll just look at these real quick. We got corn syrup, sugar, modified cornstarch, all that. Did you know yellow 5, for example, can cause cancer? Stuff like that. Just little stuff like that can cause cancer. Like, it's carcinogens that's the problem, really. And, like, the world's full of them. And it's just, it seems like all innocent and cute and stuff, but it's a weapon. It's a weapon system in our food, in our water. It's meant to dumb us down deliberately, meant to sterilize us. What do you guys think about that? Like, no comment?
Can you not film?
No comment? Well, I have the right to. You guys are out in public. So what do you get? You guys just don't want to be filmed? Because it's genetically altered. It can cause cancer. And then there's probably, is that a water filter? Does it get the fluoride out?
It's just purified water.
Purified water. All right, guys. I don't know what else to say. Like, they seem annoyed. Because I would too if I was eating poison, drinking poison all the time. You know, and then handing it out to people as though it's normal. It's not a false statement to say that the glyphosate in the Roundup that they spray the plants with causes cancer. What do you think about that?
Yes. Do you know what acrylamide is?
Acrylamide.
Yes.
Why don't you tell the audience?
I don't need to tell the audience. It's just whenever you cook food, anything that, like, the chemical that makes your food brown, the thing that turns your food to that dark color is called acrylamide. That's also technically a carcinogen. You're not out here telling people to not cook your food.
Well, I do that to everybody, basically, that it has all, especially yellow 5 and stuff in the marshmallows. It's like, come on. Like, I know that when you bake certain things, you know, that's not good. That's why overcooking things is bad. You know, I agree in that. Like,
it's not just overcooking though. It's like you're using misinformation.
Well, cooking in general, like, what's the temperature that you get to the acrylamide status in the food?
Like, that's literally what happens when your food turns that brown color.
Okay.
It's the same thing that happens, like, when you're brewing coffee, for example.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's literally in everything. Just like dioxin, because I study this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you saying this, I understand where you're coming from. You
right.
give people the right information.
This is the right information.
Dioxin is also another carcinogen.
You're just adding on to what I'm saying. But you're trying to get this attitude.
I'm not adding on to what you're saying because you're like, oh, they're giving out poisons. It's like, no.
It is poisons. Yeah, especially with the corn syrup, the corn starches, they have mercury and all kinds of stuff.
Please tell me scientifically what the daily dose is for you to get the cancer that you're talking about.
Well,
like, do you know these facts? No.
I know that in animal studies, like Petco, for example, they had to replace all of their hamsters, their mice, their guinea pigs from Guatemala, from South America. And they had to do that because in 1992, they started out the genetically modified foods, you know, putting them out there, stuff that, you know, can basically grow in Roundup, the stuff that Monsanto created. I mean,
I understand 100% where you're coming from.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you need to give people the full
You're adding on to what I'm saying. You're doing a better job than I am. Why don't you make a YouTube channel, sir? You're great.
You're not giving out.
But you're just trying to be confrontational to somebody that's trying to point out the truth.
You're not trying to point out the truth.
I am trying to point out the truth.
Trying to get people to follow.
That's what my YouTube channel is about, is trying to get to the truth of things. And, you know, what's the Wellington anyway? Can you tell me that?
Telling people everything, and you're not.
The truth is you know.
The truth is, yes, there are carcinogens and everything.
Yeah.
The soap that you use.
Not everything.
Yes.
I mean.
Literally everything. The soap that you use in your skin has like one of the top carcinogens.
Okay.
Called dioxin.
Did you know you have tumors all the time? Like every day you have tumors, but your body naturally fights them?
Yes.
For example. So, I mean, what do you think about, like, for example, you got Dr. Fritz Albert Popp, the guy that helped discover, and Luc Montagnier. Luc Montagnier helped discover the AIDS virus, and he invented a way to actually cure cancer by using light. And you can actually, you can teleport DNA. That's what he figured out you can do. This guy's a Nobel Prize laureate. I mean, do you know about the teleportation of DNA and how that can actually come to the cure and solve cancer? Like, you can actually transfer the data. Like, there's this guy. What's the problem?
Sorry, but we're trying to give it out. I'm sorry. Can we?
This is for YouTube channel. This is great. I love the confrontation. I love it because
we're doing our job right now. We can't do this right now.
This is fine. You know, I'm just going over Dr. Fritz Albert Popp, Luc Montagnier. You guys are, I have an Obama shirt on. That's probably what it is. They probably love Obama. What do you guys think about Obama?
I'm sorry, can we not
And the
talk
round,
about this right now?
you talk about carcinogens. Obama's like the ultimate carcinogen. All right, there she goes. She's getting her boss guy.
There's a way to go about giving the right information.
Right.
There's a way of just trying to antagonize people for your own personal thing.
Well, it's not that. I'm just showing you guys are
There's
hypocrites.
a different way of there's a difference between giving out right information and trying to make people look stupid so your channel looks better.
Well, you guys are kind of stupid. You're sitting outside handing out hot chocolate.
Says the person who doesn't study any of this and likes to talk and stuff that you like read on the internet, right?
Well, where do you get your information? How do you know your information is correct?
Here at OSU
So that means it's correct.
because I'm studying this actual.
This is
stuff
a
that you're
public
talking
sidewalk. What do you think about that? You guys, this should be illegal if you guys are making any profits off of it, because it's a public sidewalk.
Sign that says free.
It's free, okay, but you guys have a business here. It's like a big commercial. I understand that. And you guys, it's hypocritical to hand out carcinogens. I did this to the people across the street last week. What do you think about it being a public sidewalk, sir?
Public?
Yeah.
I see him. Come on.
It's a public sidewalk, so your girl went in there to try to say I'm, stirring stuff up. I'm just trying to ask some questions. This guy's very knowledgeable. I understand. He goes to OSU, the big, corporate fascist city-state.
What are you hoping to accomplish?
I'm just trying to expose that you guys are handing out genetically altered Nestle.
By saying there's carcinogens in our marshmallows.
Well, and the long-term studies of genetically modified food shows that it sterilizes. It's not just a carcinogen; it actually
I
sterilizes.
understand where you're coming from, but like in terms of giving people information, if you can't even provide to me the daily dose for these chemicals that you're talking about that actually causes these.
Do you want to drink some Roundup?
Wait, that's not even.
Would you drink Roundup?
That's not a comparison.
Okay, so there's probably studies out there.
You're using your phone right now, and there's studies that say the radiation from a cell phone also causes cancer. You don't see you putting down that.
Well,
phone,
it's
correct?
not. I'm not hooked onto the internet right now.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
And I turn my phone off all the time. And so, it's not hypocritical.
This is what I mean. You're giving out information that makes yourself and your channel look correct. There's a difference between doing what's right and doing what benefits you.
Right, and I'm trying to warn people, like, you shouldn't eat this crap that they're
not.
handing out. I mean, the fidget spinners alone, that's good. That's fun.
Please tell me how
2017, it's fidget spinners, yay, but then you hand out some nasty carcinogens right next to it. Nasty. Do you eat that? Would you eat the cookie for the camera? Since you know about GMO, why don't you eat it for the camera, since you're not a hypocrite? Do it. I dare you. Eat it.
You're the only one who's proved that you're a hypocrite here, because the real answers about the chemicals that you're talking about, you haven't been able to give me facts about.
Okay.
When I study this is why I know these facts that you don't know.
You don't even know who Luc Montagnier is. And then there.
Congratulations, you know two people who verify what you believe. It doesn't mean you're right. Just because somebody.
Do you know who Vladimir Budakovsky is? Vladimir Budakovsky. I proved something that you don't know. That guy proved that you can actually transmit information from a raspberry plant. The raspberry plant has a huge tumor, right? And this guy shines light from a healthy raspberry plant into the raspberry plant that has a giant tumor, and the tumor goes away. It's like it heals with the light information, because you can store unlimited data on light. What do you think about that? Quantum computing.
It's not okay.
Enfolded symmetry in the photon.
You're inferring causality because of correlation.
It's a fractalized medium. You can store unlimited amounts of media.
No. Okay. What are you?
Information.
By the way, what you're talking about is the beginning of spectroscopy. Another thing you don't know.
Okay.
Clearly.
Okay. Ultimately, spectroscopy. That is what I'm talking about exactly.
You're wrong in what you're saying. I understand you're saying yes. This
So Budakovsky doesn't exist. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not what I'm saying. I'm saying one person had a study that was successful with raspberries. That does not mean the correlation correlates to human beings.
You can definitely make that correlation.
No, because correlation is not equal.
It's
causation.
DNA.
It's literally science.
And you can do it with a salamander and a frog as well.
Have you achieved your goal?
It's true, and you're laughing at it. It's science. When you're,
no.
It's a scientific debate. That's your way out, is to cower and laugh.
What you're talking about is not science. What you're talking about is this is correlated. This means this is the cause, and this is what's happening.
Well, I'm also talking about other scientists as well. Like, for example, where you shine light, and this is green laser light from a salamander embryo to a frog embryo, and the frog embryo turns into a salamander embryo. So that's with large animals. I mean, what do you think about that? You know, that's ultralight microscopy and all this other stuff that you're talking about.
We agree we have different opinions and different viewpoints, which is great because we live in a diverse world where people get...
Infrared causes cancer, basically. It's like at certain nanometer level of light causes cancer, and these block out the good light. So when your brain sends your cells information to stop multiplying, okay, that's what causes cancer. Okay, these things block those signals to get to your cells, right? To stop multiplying. That's what causes cancer. Are you disagreeing with that?
It's a mixture of apoptosis as well as the cells creating a blood cell that causes them to clot and become tumors.
Well, they're not getting the intelligent signals to stop multiplying the cells. That's what a tumor is. I mean, you're laughing at science. It's true.
I'm not laughing at science, bro. I've had multiple tumors in my life, so you cannot sit here and tell me.
Okay.
This is what I'm trying to say. I understand you getting about trying to give the right information, but actually giving
But
the
you
right
got
information.
tumors and you're handing out stuff that causes tumors. You're a hypocrite.
This does not cause tumors, Jesus Christ. Like I told
Yeah,
you,
it does.
Like I told you, for example.
Just 'cause you say
what
Jesus
no,
Christ-
what I explained to you, the whole acrylamide thing, that's a carcinogen. But in order for you to actually get cancer from acrylamide, you'd have to drink 200 cups of coffee a day to get it from that coffee.
Okay.
That's what I mean by the daily dose.
What about
You
fluoride?
can't- No.
Is there fluoride in that water? Okay.
You cannot tell me the daily dose of this yellow 5 that you're talking about that causes cancer.
Okay.
That's like you're using your cell phone.
I will show you guys after the video. I will show you all the studies that I'm referring to, and I'll make a bibliography of what I'm saying for you. Just for you, a videography. We're good. You're not good. You're handing out fluoride water to kids that are trying to retain information and have cognitive function. Harvard University proved that it lowers IQ. You guys are handing out stuff.
Did not prove it. Jesus
Harvard
Christ. Once
University.
again, there was a
So you're disagreeing with
correlation
Harvard.
in a study. I'm not disagreeing with Harvard.
It's based off of
They'd be
25
able-
studies.
They'd be okay. Meta-analysis also does not lead to causality.
Okay,
This is
so
this is basic knowledge.
That's
of
not the
science.
only study there is, buddy.
Okay, meta-analysis.
Are you saying that fluoride's good for you? Is that what you're saying?
There's no reason. There's literally no use in arguing with you because you don't listen.
I am listening,
No,
and you
no.
haven't proven to me
Because you're talking
that
about
you know what you're
multiple
talking about.
I haven't proven, or you haven't listened.
Because you're not talking about the actual fundamental data of
No,
fluoride
I am.
toxicity. Calcium fluoride. What do you think about calcium fluoride? You need some amounts of calcium fluoride.
Engaging in this conversation.
Sodium fluoride. You guys are handing out sodium fluoride in the water.
This table is a format to have this kind of discussion.
This is a great for. This is a public setting. We're on a college campus. That's the best setting for an argument, a debate, of intellectual
I think
understanding.
This isn't a debate, dude.
It is
This is you not listening and trying to prove your point.
Well, this is you guys are being basically, you're trying to kick me off a public sidewalk. You
No
can't
one's
do
trying
that.
to kick you off. But once again, using that statement makes yourself seem good on your video. So now you can play the victim and saying they're trying.
I'm
to
not
kick
playing
me
the
off.
victim. I'm just saying that you're fundamentally not hearing what I'm saying, that the fluoride in the water, the GMO mixed with it, that it's bad. It's real bad. Can you admit that? You can't admit it because it makes you look bad.
No, I can't. I can't admit it because it's false. Like, okay, yes, everything in life has goods and bads.
So if you got filtered water-
everything in life has goods and
Yeah.
bads. Doesn't mean- you're here sitting only talking about only the bad part.
Okay.
You're not going to mention any.
What are the
things,
goods
right?
of sodium fluoride? What are the good aspects of sodium
No,
fluoride?
this proves that you don't like. This is what
I'm
mean by
asking you a
sharing
question, and you're not
information
answering
that
it
you don't
because
know.
you don't know.
Wait,
Hydrofluorosilicic
no.
acid.
Who's the first one who asked the question and then you refuted with another question? So who's really the one who doesn't know the
What
answer?
about isms and all that stuff that, I don't know, like,
You can talk at us all day long, but that's not.
so no matter what, you guys are still going to hand out the poison, right? That's my whole point. That no matter what, you'll never learn. No matter what. Even though I cite, all these facts, I cite scientists' names, of really radical stuff too. But you guys are just uppity.
Yeah, that's what we are.
Because you go to college and you have a piece of paper.
That's all that matters.
That is all that matters. Because this world, we live in an open-air prison, and they want to sterilize you and your family. Tuskegee experiments and everything else. What do you think about that? The CIA bringing in all the crack cocaine for the black people?